This is the Carwash on Laduma Radio. Sizohlangana khona.
So I think we can get into Rhulani's comments. He was upset after the game, but also spoke in the post-match conference next to Middendorp. We have some audio there.
But I hear Coach Middendorp saying he doesn't know what happened with the red card. I watched it again, and I think it's not just Mato that should have been sent off. His real faggish behavior doesn't belong on the pitch. It's very, very bad football. And it starts with things like even with Katsande's tackle on Fortune Makaringa in the first half, over the top, career-threatening tackle, and thuggish as well. Those are some of the situations, and those are the situations that I'm talking about. And those things don't belong in South African football. No. Shouldn't be condoned, and we should not accept such things. So I've got a player bleeding now with a broken nose because he was punched in the face. The Kaizer Chiefs is good enough to beat us on tactics, on personnel, well-coached team, excellent. But not on diving, diving inside with Parker, excellent dive. Not on thuggish tackles, not on boxing. No, on boxing, we don't train boxing.
Come on, man.
Rhulani.
Come on, man. But Teko, we spoke about this the other night. You said something quite profound. You said what Rhulani is doing there is very, very clever. He's taken all the attention away from the Pirates players and brought it all onto himself.
Yeah. I mean, when he was doing the post-match interview on the pitch, I could hear him clearly because I was wearing the earpiece. Like, he was very angry and very frustrated. And I just listened and listened. Once he was done, it actually hit me like, this guy is very smart. Even though he was very emotional about it, but nobody actually spoke about how Orlando Pirates played. After that, everybody was speaking about how Rhulani reacted and all that stuff. So he took all the pressure away from Orlando Pirates players. He brought it to himself. Because on a normal day, let's say if he didn't react that way, they were going to ask him about the opportunities. Do you think Orlando Pirates losing back-to-back to Kaizer Chiefs? Nobody asked him that. So everybody focused on that. And
is your job safe?
Blah, blah, blah. Those kind of questions. Yeah. So for this, I mean, I know that he was very frustrated. For me, I would like to see that when the coach is frustrated, take out your frustrations. Be free, speak about it. And for the fact that he took responsibility by drifting attention away from the players to him, he was very, very smart. And those are the kind of things that many people in South African football don't realize. Mourinho used to do that very well. Even Pep sometimes does that. Klopp always does that. Yeah. And it's very, very smart coaching. And for him to do that, I really, 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 really appreciate that he did that, taking the pressure away from Orlando Pirates players.
Definitely. And I mean, strong comments, particularly with the diving. We don't coach boxing over here. He actually continued along that train of thought in more interviews. He said in the off season now, the international break, that they'll still be training hard. They won't be doing extramurals like swimming, and he said all of this crazy stuff.
But who's he saying that got a broken nose?
That's
Mabaso. He was slapped.
Yeah, there was pushes. There was I don't remember anybody punching anybody.
Did Mato deserve to get sent off? Yes, of course he did. Of course, it's a red card. But Nurkovic as well should have got sent off.
Of course.
There's a few players that should have got sent off.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing anybody being punched. Once, what I know is I saw Mato shoving a player that went down, but to see anybody being punched, no. But I think also Nurkovic could have got punished more than the way that he did.
Big time.
Because he was actually insinuating all the things. Because he was going in, and when people were trying to break it off, he was still going in, and that's unsporting behavior. But then again, come back, like if that happened maybe against Amazulu, I'm sure, or not even Amazulu, but a little bit team, maybe punishment will be a little bit different. But now it's a big game, Kaizer Chiefs, 5 minutes to go into. It's sometimes you human being as a referee, you're thinking, can I send 2 players out for Kaizer Chiefs as a red card? It's a problem.
Yeah, I saw the way the referee handled it was actually pretty impressive. Sort of put the guys in the naughty corner.
Four of them you. Here's a card.
That was pretty impressive. He could have lost control of that very well.
Of course.
So. And then Coach Rhulani, the one question is that a lot of fans had is he picking and choosing certain things to talk about just just to make Chiefs look worse, because everyone was like, oh, what about Lorchin in the Telkom knockout match? You know, that challenge where kind of steps on Billiat, you know, grabs him by the neck a little bit. You know, he didn't have any comments there. And so is he feeding into this narrative of Chiefs benefits FC? Is he feeding into that, or do you think that there were more cases in this match in the PSL than in the Telkom knockout?
Ooh, it's a big question, hey?
I think for me is he needs to defend his team and his players at all time. He's their coach, and he has to do what he has to do, right? And he shouldn't be judged based on what he does or what he says actually, because it's his job, and I'm sure the players as well. It's their job also to protect the coach at all time. And for him, he felt injustice of the game because of situations, and also he was very emotional. You need to understand that some of the guys, when we comment about stuff that we actually watch on TV. When you're there live on the pitch, there's no replay, there's nothing. So whatever you see, you end up making a decision based on that. So after all seeing those tackles just in front of him, he actually felt that, you know, there's injustice here. The referee maybe didn't handle the game very well. Certain players could have went out. But those guys, people that will come back and say, but did he say this? Did he say that? Did he look at this? You watching from your couch is different from when you're on the pitch. So I think Rhulani needs to say whatever that he needs to say. So is other coaches. When they're given an opportunity to say, let them say it. Just because it was a derby, it makes no difference. If somebody needs to get sent off, he needs to get sent off, whether the derby or not. If he feels like his players were punched, they were kicked out of the pitch, he needs to say that. But then again, what's the strategy that Murindov came with? Because he was also fighting the fact that Murindov was encouraging his players to kick Orlando Pirates players. If it works, it works. Yes, it's unsporting behavior. We shouldn't condone that. But it works. Now,
it's also one of the biggest games in the world.
Yeah. Then you come back and say you need to win at all costs. What is all cost? Because coaches will say that we need to win this game at all costs. Is that one of the things that we can say it's all cost when Mourinho wanted to win the game? But then again, you must understand that sometimes I've been coached by coaches who say, if you kick them a little bit, they will be scared to play. Maybe that's what Mourinho said. He said to kick Pirates a little bit, you know, be aggressive a little bit.
Remember the game's changed over the years, Teko. You go back 15, 20 years. You used to come back with stud marks on your face and broken
always
toes.
Blood. Blood is not new in football. So
it was accepted back then. The game has just changed so drastically. You touch someone now, they fall on the floor and it feels like the world's ending, you know?
Yeah.
But what interesting you did say in the post-match interview as well, you said that this time last season, they were 10 games in with 16 points. And now they're 10 games in with 13 points. So you said there's not much of a drastic change. Obviously with what's happening, you know, with him being the new coach, etc., that there's a bit more pressure added to him.
Definitely. And Chiefs' form is also a big question. You know, 6 PSL matches in a row now won. They are now 10 points clear of Sundowns.
This is the Carwash on Laduma Radio. This is Corner.